first thing we need to do is to find the least common denominator, or the least common multiple of the denominator. So our denominators are 9, 18, and 16. What we have looked at in class is doing this using the ladder method, or we talked about some, and teachers call it the birthday cake method, because when you're done, it looks like an upside down birthday cake. Let's follow our prime number chart and use the smallest prime until it won't work anymore, and then we move up to the next prime. Prime numbers keep going, but usually by that time we've broken our sets down. So my smallest prime is 2, and before I write it down, before I decide to use it, I check to see if it will divide into any of these numbers. We have a divisibility trick to know if 2 will go into numbers, and that is if the numbers are even, 2 will divide into them. So 18 and 16 are both even. That means 2 will work, so I am going to write it down, and I divide. 2 does not divide evenly into 9, so I'm just going to bring it down. 2 does divide into 18, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Draw a new upside down divide symbol. And I ask myself, will 2 work again? 2 does not divide into 9, but since it will still divide into 8, I'm going to keep using it. It doesn't divide into the 9, so I bring those 9s down. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I keep using my 2 until it won't work anymore. 4 is an even number, so 2 will divide into it. I just bring those 9s down because 2 will not divide into those. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And again, we have a 2 at the end there. So bring my 9s down. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We have our first candle on our birthday cake. That means this piece is done. But I have to get rid of those 9s. 2 will not divide into 9, so I'm done using the 2. And I move to the next smallest prime number, 3. I'm not going to write it down yet. I need to ask myself, will 3 divide into any of these first? And it does. It divides into 9. 3 into 9 is 3, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. I keep using 3 until it quits working, and I know that 3 will divide into itself. So I write a 3 out here. 3 into 3 is 1. 3 into 3 is 1, and I already had this 1. So I had the candles of that birthday cake, or 1s across the bottom of my ladder. That means I'm done, and the answer is right here along the side. All these prime numbers multiplied together give me my LCD, my least common multiple of the denominators. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And by the way, that's all that. That's 16. But we will see that when we multiply it out. Times 3 times 3. So 2 times 2 is 4. Bring down that other 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Be careful, your brain is going to want to start just counting by 2s. That's different than multiplying by 2s. 8 times 2 is 16. Bring down that 3. 16 times 3, off the top of my head, I don't necessarily know, so I'm going to do by hand, or you could use a calculator for basic multiplication. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 1. Plus 1 is, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So we have 48, but we have one more 3 to multiply in there. So 48 times 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Carry that 2 over. 3 times 4 is 12, 13, 14. So our LCD is 144. You can look for the next video on how to get these fractions to look like a denominator with 144 and then add them together.